I'm Katie!
I'm Dylan.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Marco.
Starting off, natural disasters are naturally destructive. Homes are destroyed, land is brutally ravaged, and people live in fear.
While this just covers the surface, the economic issue boils down to what happens when businesses are destroyed. Ideally, when a business is destroyed by any sort of natural occurrence, production stops. This applies to most, if not all, businesses, which will then affect the economy.
This is especially apparent with agribusiness.
Let me play devil's advocate for 1 sec and ask, how?
Well, since states' economies are determined through a variety of factors, it would make sense to say that an agribusiness usually contributes the most to a state's GDP, or at least here in California. It varies, but agribusinesses are still top competitors in the market.
Therefore, when a natural disaster strikes and affects agribusinesses, efficiency will drastically decrease. As a result, GDP lowers and the economy is affected. Prices go up because of scarcity along with supply and demand. Other affected points are also the desire to do labor, but that'll be discussed later.
You may be asking, how does climate change come into this? Well, climate change is the very reason as to why natural disasters happen, or at least to have more effect than normal. Take Hurricane Florence, for example. This recent storm near the Carolinas became massive. This was because of the moist and heated environment, most likely to be caused by climate damage.
Here, let's take it from here. Great! Since we've just discussed how badly climate change affects agribusinesses, we should discuss how the government is taking care of it. We can start with a common solution, carbon emission elimination. Yes, we've all heard it, but greenhouse gases, or GHGs, are the reason that climate change exists.
Many of these greenhouse gases come from various sources like coal, factories, and fertilizer that leaks into the sea. However, research shows that better water management is actually one of the better forms to combat climate change. It's economically resourceful and aids the everyday person with cleansed water as a positive externality.
The only problem is that renewable energy doesn't have the popularity and resources to become a reality for an entire nation. Nonetheless, investors take the lead to battle climate change. Investments create economic incentives and many opportunities to create products in the product market. If more consumers see its worth, climate change will be a thing of the past and agribusinesses don't have to worry about natural disasters.
Okay, what's next?
Alright, Dylan, here's a hypothetical to get us into our next topic. You're a worker for an agribusiness, and recently your farms and businesses have just been destroyed by a massive storm. Once you return home, do you feel any urge to work again?
That's a rough call, but it varies on person. Personally, I would keep working because I have to work in order to live, although my morale would be destroyed and the quality of my work would most likely go down.
To our next topic, desire to do labor. As a factor of production, labor is one of the most important parts of agribusiness. Usually, these are fueled by incentives. Economic incentives are the pay from agribusiness or what other jobs are available, and moral incentives may come from personal want.
However, when climate change is one of the major causes of worse natural disasters, these disasters are more frequent. This increase in frequency is another factor when considering to work in agribusinesses or any labor job. Do you take the risk of having all your work shredded to pieces by some storm? Do you increase your own labor for potentially the same pay, or possibly less because of scarcity and conservation, to help recover? The question is up for grabs, as anyone can decide their own fate. Workers, especially those in areas with many risks, may not feel safe in labor jobs because of climate change.
Alright, so now we can talk about potential fixes to this. It dates back to our early topic about water management and overall carbon emission elimination. However, now, government regulations are necessary in order to completely stop or lessen climate change. However, since the government isn't completely for stopping climate change, some states don't consider climate change to be a priority. These regulations will allow all the states to participate and assist each other.
While it will be super costly, The overall result will be considerably beneficial. Natural disasters already cost a lot in the case they happen, but a reduction of climate change will prevent them from happening at all. This is the dream, but the only way it could happen is through regulation that run through all 50 states.
Alright, let's go back and summarize. Climate change drastically affects agribusiness in 3 ways, often via natural disasters.
1. Natural disasters destroy most of the land and physical capital that ag businesses need to actually produce. Efficiency lowers for those affected, and possibly other states who dedicate their time towards helping.
2. Climate change is definitely increasing because of agribusiness faults, like fertilizer or excessive coal consumption. Therefore, they are practically fueling their own fire that may destroy them.
And 3, climate change may have an effect on agribusiness workers. It all varies, but climate change will definitely have an impact if efficiency, physical capital, and land is destroyed. Labor in the end is the key factor.
So, that about sums it up for how climate change affects the economy. Yes, while a lot of it is natural disaster based, these are all still widely caused by climate change. If you have any questions, please ask. Thank you for watching.